1, 2, 3. Fashion, fashion. It's Evelina's Fashion Cafe. Woo! Perfect. I love that.
Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of the Fashion Cafe. We don't have a drink today. Yeah, we forgot our tea and coffee and whatever. But anyway, today I have Sonia here. She is a Russian vlogger and blogger. I'm gonna leave all her links down below. We just did a video on her channel. We talked about how to come to America and all of that. So if you speak Russian, go check it out. So today we're going to be talking about Russian and American fashion and the differences between the two. Because guess what? Sonia is Russian and so am I.
Yes, right.
I actually grew up in Russia. I mean, for what, 6 years? Then we moved to Moldova, so I kind of lived there most of my life. And then, what's your background?
I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia, but as you can tell by my accent, I moved quite, what's it called?
Young.
Yeah, I moved quite young. I moved when I was 5 years old, so I moved to Canada. I'm like pretty much Americanized now, well, Canadianized, so yeah, but I've been back to Russia like a lot of times, so I like the memory of Russian fashion or like Eastern European fashion is pretty fresh in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, how do you forget that?
Yeah, you don't.
What's like the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Russian fashion?
Probably just the intention of the fashion. For example, a lot of women in Russia will always be dressed up. Like, it doesn't matter where you're going, Walmart, the grocery store, it doesn't matter. You have to put the high heels on. If it's winter, the high heel boots, the higher the better. None of that like booty stuff, no. It has to be like stilettos.
No, stiletto. And like,
for sure.
And there's like a freaking 10 inches of ice. Women are rocking their stilettos.
Yeah.
No, that's like my mom. Like my mom will not like leave the house without heels or makeup, which brings us to the next point is that people have to be dressed up.
Yeah.
Constantly. And not just dressed up, they have to be in their absolute best looking thing, which is a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, because people want to, you know, have a good appearance and look good and impress. It's very much so a culture of impressing people. Like we're like going to post office. She'll be putting her weave on and like all of that.
No, but see, the post office in Russia is a different story.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to the post office, you're like pretty much going for like a sleepover. You're gonna be there for a while.
I know, and there's like all these babushki like sitting outside, like judging you with like little sunflower seeds, you know, like all of that.
Literally, though.
People eat sunflower seeds in Russia. It's a treat.
It's actually like, it's hilarious. If you go to the Russian store, you'll see by the checkout, it's not gum, it's sunflower seeds.
Yeah. And that stuff is so terrible for your teeth. Like it leaves little, like you'll see people, like young people just smile and there's like little black marks in their teeth and it's like the peel from the sunflower seeds. Because yeah, guess what? They're unpeeled. Russian people are tough.
Yeah.
They don't peel their sunflower seeds. Oh, there's these hats. Oh my gosh. Did your parents wear them?
Yeah.
They're like these giant like fur hats. I think they're made out of mink, I would assume, because they're super fluffy. And it's just like this turban on your head. And I never understood them because it doesn't keep your ears warm. No. It's just like it sits on top of your head. And it's just like the weirdest thing ever. And it almost creates like this little like sauna like right here. So when like they would take it off, like the whole head is wet.
You see, when I was young, my mom always told me like to always have a hat on in the winter because you have to protect this part of your cranium. Because God knows, you know, if you lose your brain cells because it's so cold outside. So it's not the ears so much, it's like you gotta protect the brain itself.
So aren't Russian people like the most superstitious people ever?
Oh yeah.
Like what are some superstitions?
I can't, and I tell my mom too, I'm always like, Mom, like that's just a superstition. She's like, God, Sonia, you don't believe in anything. I'm like, right, I don't believe in anything because that's a load of food, you know? Like,
oh gosh. Yeah, like what?
Knock on wood.
Yeah, that's like a pretty universal one, but Russians have like weird ones.
Yeah, oh, something like, for example, I said in my video that like there were cockroaches or something, or like, yeah, like bugs or something, and everyone's like, oh, that's for money, that means you're gonna get rich. I'm like, no, that just means my apartment has cockroaches. That's all it means, really.
You know, it reminds me, do you know this little thing? It's called посидим на дорожку.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, it's the weirdest thing the Russians do. Let's say like, you know, they're really in a rush somewhere, like they're going on like a trip, like overseas. They have to sit down for a few minutes before they leave the house. So just like this whole family like has their bags packed and everything, and then like it's like, oh, посидим на дорожку. So then they just sit down.
And they just sit there.
Sit for like a few minutes. This is the weirdest thing ever. For like good luck. Is that the point?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Can we just talk about like guy fashion? Well, you said you had a positive experience. You saw like guys dress well, right? And,
sometimes. Like they're not as like, I don't know, I feel like the guys at least just try to look nice. I feel like it's, universally like easier for a guy to look nice because it's like you put on a nice like dress shirt, like some nice whatever pants and some nice shoes, and you look good. You don't have to worry about like, is my design like in trend now? Am I wearing like Brandy Melville like shirt tied around the waist? No, it's like simple, classic all the time. But the one thing I'll say about guys, Adidas tracksuits.
Adidas tracksuits, burn them.
Seriously.
They need to make, just as like a service to our country, they need to make a giant fire, like National Burn Your Adidas Suit Day.
Yeah, please.
And just come, like all the guys, just it'd be so liberating, like bring to the fire pit and burn their Adidas suit. Like I don't know what it is. Men, boys, guys just love to wear like a full-on Adidas tracksuit and these like weird like kepka, you know, like this weird like hat.
Yeah.
But like it's like it kind of bends right here.
I got a memory of high school. That's amazing.
Another thing is that Russian people are all about logos. Like it's so important to like, you know, like you'll see, especially girls, oh my goodness, like Louis Vuitton bag and like make sure like it has like all like the, you know, like the prints and the logos and like Hermes bag and Gucci belt and like Prada like coat with Prada somewhere here. Yeah. Like all the, it's like, it's a waste of money if you buy an expensive thing without a logo.
Right.
It's like, why are you buying it?
Because now you can tell that you're rich.
Exactly. It's like all, but it's also what's funny is that like a lot of it is fake. Like I have a couple friends, and it's actually not as frowned upon. Like it's like normal.
Dress to impress kind of mindset.
It is very much so culture to like put on your best front, and also the fact that here rich people, it's like they dress in flip-flops and like a Tommy Bahama shirt, you know what I'm saying? But they're like people that aren't necessarily wealthy, they want to create the illusion of wealth. Right. So they do all of that little extra mile. It's kind of like, that's the differences between culture.
And what about like American fashion?
I would say it's like the complete opposite of the spectrum where like most people just don't care. Like they do care in bigger cities, you know, like New York, Los Angeles, Miami. But if you go somewhere in like a town in like South Carolina, people just don't care. There are some girls, you know, they do like little sundresses and like little cute flats, you know, but it's kind of like I see a lot of the same stuff. Like I went to like 5 different colleges all over America, and it's like the same. You see like Uggs, North Face jacket. Right. What else? What would you say about American fashion that's different?
Just a lot of focus on comfort, I think. Is even if it's something fashionable, like they'll be like comfy fashion, you know, like doesn't really exist in Europe, I would say. I think American fashion, at least in Canada, that's like kind of America, right? We have not so much of like a fashion, it's not so much like a style, it's more so like trends. Like for example, like these coats called Canada Goose were really in fashion, everyone had to have one. There's a time when like sweatpants, root sweatpants were so cool, everyone had to have one. Uggs were cool, everyone has to have Uggs. So we kind of go through these like fad items that everyone has to have. It's not so much of like laid back or like uptown chic or whatever. It's just like
certain items, like certain brands that are really popular.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. That's all we wanted to talk about today. We filmed a video on Sonia's channel, and she also does these super cool fashion outfit of the days, and they're just so well shot and produced and edited and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. No, I love your stuff, seriously. So her blog is also really awesome. She's a fashion blogger, so I'm gonna leave all that goodness down below. Definitely check her out. Yeah, this is all that we had for today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me down below what are some differences between, just kind of what are some like things that you just generally notice about American fashion compared to other countries if you're from a different country. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!